Get ready, God is about to turn your impossible into an undeniable miracle. Listen closely, because what you're about to hear may be the very message your heart has been crying out for. There comes a moment in every destiny when heaven leans in, when the impossible starts shifting, when the weight you've been carrying suddenly begins to break under the pressure of God's power. Right now, yes, in this very moment, your life is standing on the edge of a divine turning point. You may have walked through storms, battles, losses, delays, but none of it has been wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every silent night has been preparing you for something bigger, something heaven has already signed, sealed, and is now ready to deliver. This is your faith alert. Something powerful, something supernatural, something unmistakably from God is about to enter your life. You're not listening by accident. You're listening because God is about to perform a miracle that will rewrite your story. And what seemed closed, blocked, delayed, denied, He is about to open in a way that leaves no doubt. This could only be God. 5 keynotes. The miracle that is already in motion in your life did not begin today, and it did not begin the moment you started praying for it. It began long before you ever recognized the need. Long before the setback, the heartbreak, or the silent season, God had already set something into motion on your behalf. And even though you cannot see it with your natural eyes, the spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting in ways far beyond what your mind can comprehend. Sometimes the greatest moves of God are the ones that remain invisible until the appointed time. You may look at your life and see stillness, emptiness, or delay, but God sees movement, alignment, and divine order. You may think nothing is happening, but heaven knows everything is happening. Just because it is silent does not mean it is stagnant. Just because you don't feel it does not mean God isn't moving with power. The foundation of miracles is built in hidden places, beneath the surface, behind the scenes, in the spiritual realm where God orchestrates every detail with perfect precision. Think of how seeds work. You plant them in the dark, bury them beneath the soil, and for days, sometimes weeks, you see absolutely nothing. But underground, life is pushing, roots are spreading, systems are forming, strength is developing. The seed is not dead, it is preparing for visibility. And when the moment is right, the soil breaks open and the fruit appears. That is exactly what God is doing in your life right now. Something is preparing to break through. Something you thought was delayed, denied, or forgotten is about to rise from the ground with power you didn't expect. Everything God promised is still alive, still growing, still moving, just out of sight. The miracle in motion may not make sense to you right now because God rarely reveals the entire path all at once. He doesn't show you the finished picture immediately. Instead, He gives you pieces, small signs, little moments of confirmation, gentle reminders that He is close. But while you are seeing one piece at a time, He is moving all the pieces together behind the curtain of time. He is arranging people, shifting opportunities, opening doors, closing harmful ones, and creating divine appointments you couldn't schedule even if you tried. Nothing about your life is random. Every detail has a divine fingerprint on it. And sometimes the most powerful moves of God happen right after the most painful seasons of your life. When everything feels like it's falling apart, heaven is often putting everything into place. When you feel empty, God is clearing out what no longer belongs. When you feel lost, God is redirecting your steps. When you feel abandoned, God is actually positioning you for a breakthrough that requires isolation. The very moments that felt like breaking points were actually building points. What you thought was the end of your strength was the beginning of God's intervention. Even the waiting you've gone through has not been wasted. Waiting is not inactivity, it is spiritual preparation. God does not delay to deny you, He delays to develop you. He delays to protect you. He delays to align you. God knows that if your miracle arrives too early, you won't see its fullness. Too late, and you feel forgotten. But right on time, it transforms everything. God is a master of timing, and right now, His timing is aligning with your destiny in ways that will soon become impossible to ignore. Sometimes God hides His miracles inside of unexpected circumstances. A setback that looks like loss becomes the doorway to a blessing you never imagined. A closed door that hurts now becomes the protection that saves your future. A disappointment you didn't understand becomes the redirection you needed. The miracle is not always wrapped in comfort. Sometimes it is wrapped in confusion, pressure, and spiritual stretching. But even in that stretching, God is working. Think of the moments where you cried, "God, where are you?" He was closer than you realized. Think of the days you felt weak. He was strengthening you silently. Think of the times you doubted your future. He was preparing it carefully. Sometimes God moves so quietly that it seems like he is not moving at all, but that quietness is often the sound of precision. Heaven works with accuracy, not chaos. When God moves, he moves perfectly. The miracle in motion may be happening in ways you would never guess. Someone you haven't even met yet is being positioned to bless your life. A door you thought was closed forever is about to open by divine instruction. A breakthrough you once gave up on is circling back with renewed power. A prayer you whispered years ago is still echoing in God's presence, and he has not forgotten it. Your miracle is not lost. It is simply unfolding in stages. Faith is the bridge between what you see and what God is doing. Faith is choosing to believe that even without evidence, movement is happening. Faith is the calm knowing that God does not need your timeline. He works according to his divine purpose. And when he moves suddenly. One moment you feel stuck, the next moment everything shifts. One moment you see no way out, the next moment doors you never imagined begin to open. One moment you feel defeated, the next moment victory bursts through unexpectedly. God specializes in sudden miracles, and you are standing closer to one than you realize. The battle you've been facing is not a sign of defeat. It's a sign that something powerful is on its way. Pressure increases before breakthrough. Darkness deepens before sunrise. Battles intensify before victory. The enemy fights hardest when he knows God is about to release something extraordinary into your life. Your struggle has not been punishment. It has been preparation for something much greater. The miracle in motion is moving toward you like a wave gathering strength. You may not hear it yet, but you will soon feel its impact. The shift is happening. The alignment is happening. The breakthrough is happening. Your prayers did not fall to the ground. They were received, recorded, and are now being released. God is about to reveal what he has been orchestrating. And when it appears, you will look back and realize that every moment, every hardship, every delay, every tear was part of a supernatural setup for something far greater than you imagined. Your miracle is not just coming. It has already started. Every delay in your life has a purpose far greater than you can imagine. It is easy to look at waiting as a setback, as a pause in your journey, or as God saying no, but that is never the case. Every delay is divine preparation, every pause is intentional, and every season of waiting is a spiritual classroom where God is equipping you for the miracle that is already in motion. The moment may feel like rejection, but in reality, it is refinement. God is shaping your character, stretching your faith, and preparing you to handle the blessings he is about to release. Think about the stories of those who experienced miracles in the past. Many of them faced long delays, endless obstacles, and repeated disappointments. Yet those delays were never random. They were the very tools God used to prepare them for a future so much greater than they could have imagined. The waiting period was the invisible hand of God at work, aligning people, places, and opportunities to create the perfect conditions for his promises to manifest. Without that preparation, the miracle might have been wasted, misunderstood, or even harmful. God's timing is always perfect, even when our patience is stretched beyond measure. During delays, your faith is tested, and it is through these tests that God measures the depth of your trust in him. Faith is not just believing when things go your way, it is believing when everything seems to be standing against you. Every day that passes without the answer you prayed for is an opportunity to strengthen your spirit, deepen your reliance on God, and fortify your hope. Delays are not the absence of God, they are the presence of God working in ways that are unseen. They are the moments where he cultivates resilience, endurance, and unwavering faith within you, ensuring that when the miracle finally arrives, you are fully ready to receive it. Sometimes delays are also about protection. There are miracles that could be wasted or even dangerous if they arrive too soon. God, in his infinite wisdom, knows what you are ready for and what you are not. He knows the people you need in your life, the skills you need to acquire, and the lessons you need to learn before the blessing arrives. What seems like a setback is often a shield, keeping you from rushing into situations that are not yet ripe for your breakthrough. Every delay is layered with purpose, and every moment of waiting is wrapped in divine care. Delays also refine your perspective. They teach you patience, humility, and gratitude. They allow you to recognize the value of what is coming and prepare your heart to cherish it fully. If every prayer were answered immediately, you might take miracles for granted. But through waiting, you learn the significance of perseverance, the power of consistent faith, and the beauty of trusting God's timing over your own. It is in these quiet seasons that your vision becomes clearer, your priorities align, and your dependence on God grows stronger. You learn to recognize the difference between what is urgent and what is essential, and your heart becomes attuned to the subtle movements of divine guidance. Delays also reveal your level of commitment. True faith is proven in the moments of waiting. It is easy to celebrate a miracle after it happens, but the test comes when you have no evidence, no confirmation, and no visible sign of progress. The moments when you continue to hope, continue to pray, and continue to believe despite the absence of results are the moments where God sees your perseverance and your loyalty. These moments of steadfastness create spiritual maturity, preparing you to handle the responsibility and power that will accompany your breakthrough. It is important to remember that delays are never permanent. They are temporary spaces of preparation designed to align your life with God's perfect will. The storm may feel endless, but the sunrise is always coming. The seed may feel buried forever, but growth is already happening beneath the surface. Every day of waiting is a day closer to the manifestation of your miracle. God is never late. He is always on time. Your miracle is not lost. It is simply arriving at the exact moment it will have the greatest impact, the deepest meaning, and the most transformative power. During these delays, your role is not to despair, but to strengthen your faith. It is not to question, but to trust. It is not to focus on what is lacking, but to focus on the unseen movements of God. Every prayer you have offered, every tear you have shed, every act of faith you have demonstrated is building a foundation that will support the miracle when it arrives. The delay is a time to continue sowing seeds of faith, gratitude, and obedience, trusting that the harvest is coming. Moreover, delays prepare you to walk in humility and gratitude. When your miracle finally arrives, you will see that it is far greater than you could have planned, and the waiting period will make you appreciate it fully. You will look back at the seasons of delay and recognize that every moment of waiting was a stepping stone to something far beyond your imagination. Without the patience you've developed, the gratitude you've cultivated, and the faith you've strengthened, the miracle might not have the same lasting impact. Delays, therefore, are not just about timing, they are about transformation. Understand this: God's timing is perfect because it is filled with wisdom, precision, and love. He does not rush, because rushing can ruin the masterpiece He is creating in your life. He does not forget, because every prayer is remembered, every tear is counted, and every longing is noted. The delays in your life are not obstacles, they are instruments of preparation, designed to shape your character, refine your heart, and prepare your spirit for the miracle that is already on its way. So when you feel impatient, discouraged, or frustrated, remember that every delay is a divine setup. Every waiting period is an essential part of God's plan. Every pause is intentional, and every moment is preparing you for a miracle that will be too powerful to ignore. Your faith, your patience, and your perseverance during this season will ensure that when your miracle arrives, you will not only receive it, but you will also be fully ready to embrace it, walk in it, and live in it with gratitude, wisdom, and joy. Delays are not denials. They are divine orchestration. They are not punishments. They are preparation. They are not empty moments. They are sacred spaces where God works invisibly, yet powerfully, to bring you exactly what He has promised. And when the time comes, you will see clearly that every day of waiting was necessary, every trial was purposeful, and every delay was leading you straight to your miracle. Your miracle is closer than you think. Every delay has a reason, every pause is purposeful, and every moment of waiting is an opportunity to grow, strengthen, and prepare for the incredible blessing that God is about to release into your life. God never brings you this far to leave you where you are. That is a truth that cannot be overstated. Every step you have taken, every struggle you have endured, every tear you have shed, and every prayer you have whispered has been carefully orchestrated by God to bring you closer to your destiny. It is easy to feel discouraged when the path seems long or when challenges continue to appear, but the truth is, God's hand has been guiding you every step of the way. You are not stuck, you are not forgotten, and you are certainly not abandoned. Every moment of your life has been part of a divine plan that is far bigger than you can see. Think about the journey that brought you here. The battles you've fought, the doors that closed, and the storms that shook you were not designed to destroy you, they were designed to strengthen you. God does not waste effort. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, has a purpose. He has been preparing you for the very moment when His miracle will manifest. The struggles, the delays, the doubts, they are all stepping stones leading to the incredible blessings that await you. You have been moving forward, even when you felt like standing still. You have been growing, even when growth was invisible. You have been receiving preparation, even when it felt like rejection. Sometimes it is hard to see the end from the beginning. It is hard to understand why certain things are happening, why certain doors remain closed, or why answers do not come immediately. But God's perspective is infinite. He sees the beginning, the middle, and the end simultaneously. He knows exactly when to release the blessing, when to open the door, and when to reveal the miracle. The very thing you are waiting for, the very promise you are holding onto, is closer than you think. The fact that it has not arrived yet does not mean it won't. It simply means that the timing is perfect and the preparation is complete or nearly complete. Your journey so far has built resilience. You have learned lessons that you could not have learned any other way. You have developed wisdom, strength, and patience that will equip you to handle the blessing when it arrives. The miracle that is coming is not only for your benefit, it is also a reflection of the growth God has cultivated within you. He brings His people to the point where they are ready, where their hearts are aligned, and where their spirit can fully receive what He has prepared. The miracle will not just change your circumstances, it will transform you. It will elevate you to a new level of understanding, faith, and purpose. Sometimes we are tempted to give up, to believe that the distance we've traveled has been in vain. But God's faithfulness is not dependent on our understanding or our ability to see the whole picture. He is faithful in ways that surpass human comprehension. He moves in silence, He works behind the scenes, and He orchestrates every detail with perfect precision. The very fact that you are still here, still believing, still hopping, and still praying is evidence of His presence. He has brought you through storms, preserved you through trials, and positioned you for a breakthrough that is unlike anything you have ever experienced. The miracle is not just about what will happen externally, it is about what God has been doing internally. He has been refining your heart, shaping your character, and deepening your faith. He has been teaching you to trust Him when nothing makes sense, to hold on when it seems impossible, and to believe when everything in your natural mind says otherwise. These internal changes are crucial because the miracle that is coming will require not just faith, but maturity, wisdom, and readiness. God does not just give miracles to anyone. He gives them to those whose hearts and minds are aligned with His will. You may have asked yourself, why me? Why now? Why so much waiting? The answer is simple, because God's timing is perfect and His plans are intentional. He is not bringing you this far to let you fall, fail, or miss the blessing. He is preparing you to fully embrace what He has in store. Every delay, every obstacle, every trial has been a part of the shaping process. Every moment has been laying the foundation for the miracle to come. And when it arrives, it will be undeniable proof that God never leaves His children behind. Remember, God's ways are higher than ours. We often measure success by speed, by immediacy, and by visible results. God measures success by alignment, readiness, and purpose. He knows exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, and exactly how to provide it. The miracle that is coming will not just meet your expectations, it will exceed them. It will come at the right time, in the right way, and with the maximum impact for your life. Faith is your bridge to receiving this promise. Faith is the anchor that keeps you steady while the miracle is being prepared. Faith is the declaration that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many challenges arise, you trust that God will bring you to the place He has already promised. Your belief, your hope, and your trust are powerful forces that align you with the miracle that is in motion. The more you choose to believe, the closer you draw yourself to its manifestation. You are on the threshold of something extraordinary. The distance you have traveled, the patience you have exercised, and the faith you have held are all part of God's perfect plan. He will not abandon you now, for He never has and never will. Every step you have taken, every trial you have endured, and every prayer you have offered has been guiding you toward this very moment. The miracle is coming, and it will be unmistakable. It will be so powerful, so transformative, that it will leave no doubt that it is from God. So do not despair, do not give up, and do not lose hope. God has brought you too far to leave you where you are. The breakthrough is near. The miracle is on its way. The promise is about to be fulfilled. And when it arrives, you will see clearly that every struggle, every setback, and every season of waiting was worth it, because it was all part of God's perfect plan to bring you into a life filled with His glory, provision, and power. When faith becomes your atmosphere, miracles become your reality. This is not just a statement, it is a principle of life that has transformed countless destinies. Faith is more than just hope or belief. It is a force that shapes your environment, directs your decisions, and positions you to receive the impossible. When you cultivate faith, you are not merely waiting for a miracle to happen, you are creating the conditions for it to manifest. Faith changes the way you perceive challenges, the way you approach opportunities, and the way you interact with the world around you. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones and delays into preparation periods, making you ready for the extraordinary. Faith is a decision, a declaration, and a discipline. It is the choice to believe in the unseen, to trust what cannot yet be proven, and to act in alignment with that belief. When your mind, heart, and spirit are anchored in faith, you operate from a place of certainty rather than doubt. This certainty becomes a magnetic force that attracts God's promises into your life. It is faith that turns prayers into reality, that converts hope into tangible results, and that allows miracles to appear where logic says they cannot. Faith is not passive, it is active, dynamic, and powerful. It moves mountains, opens closed doors, and brings the invisible into the visible realm. The atmosphere of faith begins in your thoughts. What you dwell on, what you believe about yourself, and what you expect from life all influence the energy you emit. Faith-filled thinking aligns your spirit with God's power. It is a deliberate choice to see beyond circumstances, to envision the outcome you desire, and to refuse to be shaken by temporary setbacks. When your mind is saturated with faith, your heart becomes steady, your actions become bold, and your words become declarations of destiny. This is why faith is described as the substance of things hoped for, the bridge between what is unseen and what is about to be revealed. Faith also demands action. Belief without action is incomplete. When you walk in faith, you take steps that align with the miracle you are expecting. These steps may not make sense to the world or seem logical, but they demonstrate your trust in God's power. Each step, no matter how small, positions you for the breakthrough you are waiting for. Faith-filled actions communicate to the universe and to God that you are ready, willing, and expecting the miracle. They prepare the soil of your life for the blessing to grow, ensuring that when it arrives, you are capable of receiving it fully. Faith transforms your response to challenges. When life presents difficulties, faith allows you to remain steadfast rather than discouraged. It changes how you see obstacles, not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth, refinement, and preparation. Faith gives you eyes to see the invisible threads of God's plan weaving through your circumstances. It allows you to trust that even in the midst of chaos, God is working for your good. The miracle you are awaiting is often hidden in the very difficulties you face, and faith is what enables you to persevere until it is revealed. Faith is contagious. When you live in an atmosphere of faith, your belief inspires those around you. People are drawn to the certainty, hope, and resilience that emanate from someone who walks in faith. Your confidence becomes a testimony, your courage becomes a signal, and your steadfastness becomes a light in the darkness. Miracles often multiply through faith-filled influence, as God works not only in your life, but also through your testimony to impact others. Your faith sets a spiritual atmosphere that aligns others, opportunities, and circumstances to converge in your favor. It is also essential to understand that faith does not ignore reality, it transcends it. Faith does not deny the existence of difficulties, pain, or delay. It sees beyond them to the ultimate outcome. It perceives the solution, the breakthrough, and the miracle even when the world says otherwise. Faith understands that God's power is greater than any circumstance, that His promises are unshakable, and that His timing is perfect. When faith dominates your atmosphere, doubt loses its grip, fear loses its influence, and hope becomes unshakable. Faith is strengthened through consistent practice. It grows when you speak words of belief, when you meditate on promises, when you act boldly, and when you refuse to succumb to negativity. Every declaration of trust, every step of obedience, and every moment of unwavering belief increases your faith. Like a muscle, faith grows stronger the more it is exercised. And as your faith strengthens, the miracles you expect begin to manifest more quickly and powerfully. When faith becomes your atmosphere, it transforms your reality in ways you may not even anticipate. Opportunities appear that were previously invisible. Solutions emerge from places you never thought to look. People come into your life who become instruments of blessing. Doors that were once closed swing open, and challenges that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones to victory. Faith changes the very energy around you, aligning circumstances with God's promises and creating a reality where miracles are not just possible, they are inevitable. Faith also teaches patience and perseverance. Miracles often require time, and faith allows you to endure the waiting period without losing hope. It keeps your heart aligned with God's timing and your spirit anchored in trust. While you wait, faith prepares you to receive the miracle fully, to walk in it wisely, and to use it for the greatest good. It is the atmosphere of faith that sustains you through seasons of delay and uncertainty, ensuring that when the blessing arrives, you are ready to embrace it completely. Ultimately, faith is the key that unlocks the supernatural. When it dominates your thoughts, actions, and heart, miracles move from possibility to reality. Faith is not passive. It is an active force that draws God's power into your life. It is the invisible current that turns hope into manifestation, desire into fulfillment, and promise into tangible reality. When faith becomes your atmosphere, miracles cease to be extraordinary events. They become the natural outcome of your unwavering trust in God. Every miracle begins in faith. Every breakthrough is birthed in belief. Every divine intervention is prepared in the mind and heart of someone who refuses to waver. When you allow faith to saturate your being, you position yourself in the perfect environment for God's power to manifest. Your atmosphere becomes charged with expectation, your spirit aligns with His purpose, and your life becomes a magnet for the miracles that are already on their way. Faith is not simply a tool, it is your environment. It is the invisible force that determines whether miracles remain distant possibilities or immediate realities. When faith becomes your atmosphere, you do not just hope for miracles, you live in a space where miracles are inevitable. It transforms your life, shapes your destiny, and creates a reality in which the supernatural becomes natural and the impossible becomes possible. The season you are stepping into will not look like the season you came out of. Change is coming, and it is coming in ways that will surpass anything you have imagined. Often, we cling to the familiar, even when the familiar is holding us back. We grow comfortable with the limitations, the struggles, and the routine of our current circumstances. But God is calling you into a new dimension, a higher level of blessing, and a deeper experience of His power. The miracle that is about to unfold in your life will mark the end of one season and the beginning of another. It will be unmistakable because it will transform everything you have known and redefine the boundaries of what is possible for you. One of the most remarkable aspects of stepping into a new season is that it often comes suddenly. Sometimes, life appears to move slowly, giving you the illusion of stagnation. Then, in a moment, everything shifts. The people, the opportunities, the resources, and the circumstances that were missing suddenly appear. The very situation that seemed impossible to overcome begins to align perfectly with God's plan. This sudden shift is not random. It is the result of preparation, prayer, and divine orchestration. The season you are entering has been designed with precision, and every element of it will serve to elevate you to the next level of your destiny. Entering a new season requires perspective. You must learn to see beyond what is comfortable and embrace what is coming with faith. The season you are leaving behind may have been filled with lessons, challenges, and even heartbreak, but it also served as the training ground for what lies ahead. Every trial, every disappointment, and every waiting period was shaping you to handle the new level of responsibility, blessing, and influence.